Hello and welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. Have you ever considered that the things you keep tucked away, the boxes stacked in the garage, clothes from years gone by, or those drawers packed with just-in-case items, might not be providing you comfort, but quietly taking away your peace of mind? What I'm talking about isn't just household mess. It's the hidden weight that gradually builds up in our living spaces and in our hearts. It's that sense of being stuck, feeling overwhelmed, or simply exhausted without knowing the real reason why. As women, especially as we move through different stages of life, many of us become guardians of family memories and caretakers for others. We save things for our children, our loved ones, or simply because we think we might need them one day, but over time, those belongings start to hold us back instead of supporting us. In today's video, I want to invite you on a gentle journey, not just one about getting organized, but about releasing with kindness the things that no longer serve you. By letting go, you open up room for more tranquility, better rest, and true joy to enter your life. If you've noticed a quiet heaviness hanging over your daily routine, you're not alone. And the good news is one simple shift today can set you on a path toward feeling lighter and more at ease. So please, stick with me. I'm about to share 10 important lessons on clutter, health, and emotional well-being that might just change the way you view both your home and yourself. 1. The invisible weight of clutter. Have you ever walked into a room and felt instantly drained, even if you hadn't lifted a finger? Maybe it's that spare room where everything ends up, or that chair that holds a week's worth of clothes. You look at it, and something inside you sinks. You might not realize it, but your mind is trying to process every single object in that space. Each pile, each paper, each forgotten item. It's exhausting. This is what I call the invisible weight. It's not just stuff, it's unmade decisions, delayed action, memories we haven't sorted through. When your eyes scan a cluttered space and your brain doesn't rest, it works over time, whether you realize it or not. And as we get older, conserving our mental energy becomes more important than ever. Think of your brain like a stove with 4 burners. If 3 burners are taken up by clutter, mental, emotional, or physical, you only have 1 left to cook with. That's why it feels like simple things take more energy than they used to. It's not just aging, it's the overload. But here's the good news. You don't have to fix it all at once. You just need to start. Pick one small space, maybe the top of your nightstand, a drawer in your kitchen, a corner of your desk. Take everything out. Hold each item. Ask yourself, do I use this? Do I love this? Does it serve me right now? If not, let it go with gratitude. Let it go knowing that by clearing this space, you're giving your mind a place to breathe. And once it's clear, pause, sit in the quiet, feel the difference. That's lightness. That's clarity. That's your mind sighing in relief. You've just lifted a burden you didn't even know you were carrying. 2. How clutter steals. Your sleep is one of the most sacred things we have, especially as we age. It's when the body heals, the mind resets, and the soul finds its calm. But for many women, sleep doesn't come easy. You lie down exhausted, but your mind keeps racing. You remember that stack of papers you need to sort, or the laundry you never folded, and before you know it, an hour has passed. What's happening isn't just stress, it's the result of clutter. Physical clutter in your bedroom is stealing your ability to truly rest. Your brain registers those unfinished tasks, even if you're not consciously thinking about them. A pile of clutter in the corner whispers, "You didn't finish this." Cluttered drawer beside the bed nags, "You still haven't dealt with that." Even if the lights are off, your subconscious hears it all. That's why so many of us wake up tired, even after 8 hours in bed. Our minds never fully let go. Our bodies may rest, but our thoughts don't. The solution begins by making your bedroom a place of peace, not productivity. Remove anything that doesn't serve rest. This includes work papers, electronics that blink through the night, unread books stacked high, and anything that reminds you of chores or responsibilities. Replace them with calm. Maybe a soft lamp, a framed photo that brings you joy, a scent you love like lavender or eucalyptus. Create an atmosphere that says you are safe to release here. You are allowed to rest. You deserve sleep that restores, not just sleep that passes time. You've earned that kind of rest, and it begins not with a new pillow or a supplement, but with making space, physically and emotionally, for quiet. 3. The anxiety hidden in just in case. Let's talk about the 3 little words that have cluttered more closets than anything else. Just in case. You know what I mean? That old coat in the back of your closet you haven't worn in 15 years? The mismatched containers under the sink? That random wire or charger? No idea what it's for, but you keep it just in case. For many of us, keeping these things feels responsible. It feels safe. But the truth is, every just-in-case item we keep adds to a quiet underlying sense of worry. It says, something might go wrong and I won't be prepared. That mindset creates anxiety, an ongoing feeling that something bad is always around the corner. Now let me ask you something gently. How often have you actually used those things? Not in theory, but in real life. Most of the time, the answer is almost never. And yet, they sit there, taking up space. Not just in your home, but in your mind. Here's a simple exercise I love. Take a box, go through your home and gather every just-in-case item you haven't used in the past 12 months. Put them all in the box, seal it, write today's date on the lid. Then put the box in a closet out of sight. If in 6 months you haven't gone to retrieve anything from it, donate it without opening it again. This does 2 beautiful things. First, it frees up your living space, but more importantly, it signals to your heart that you trust yourself, that you are no longer living in fear of the what if. You are living in the peace of right now. Letting go of just in case is not careless. It is an act of faith, and that kind of faith brings real, lasting calm. 4. How clutter feeds procrastination. Procrastination, that word alone carries a sting, doesn't it? So many women I speak with say, I just can't get started, or I know I need to do it, but I keep putting it off. And you know what? It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's the weight of everything unsorted that tells your brain there's too much. It's easier to do nothing. Here's what's really going on. Clutter triggers a subtle but powerful sense of failure. Every unfinished task, every pile of papers, every drawer you don't want to open, it all sends the same message to your mind. You haven't done this? You still need to. And when your mind hears that message 10, 20, 30 times a day, it starts to shut down. Not because you don't care, but because you're overwhelmed. Clutter becomes a visual reminder of decisions you've delayed. Should I keep this? Where should this go? Do I still need it? These are micro decisions, and too many of them wear you out before you even begin. But here's a shift that works. Make it a practice to decide immediately. Pick something up, anything, and give yourself only 3 options. Number 1, use it now. Number 2, put it where it belongs. Number 3, let it go. That's it. No, I'll decide later. No, I'll deal with it tomorrow because tomorrow has enough of its own burdens. This habit trains your mind to act rather than avoid. And little by little, you'll notice something change inside you. You'll feel more capable, more clear-headed, more decisive. Not just about clutter, but about bigger choices in your life too. Because here's the truth. Clarity is contagious. When you clean one drawer with confidence, your brain says, hey, maybe I can handle this phone call I've been dreading. When you sort your mail instead of letting it pile up, your brain says, maybe I can finally start that painting again, or call that friend, or try that new class. You are not a procrastinator. You're a wise, capable woman who has been carrying too much for too long, and now you're beginning to lay it down, one decision at a time. 5. How clutter undermines your self-esteem. Let's be honest about something most people don't talk about. When your home feels messy or out of control, you might start to feel like you're out of control. You misplace your glasses. You can't find the papers you need. You avoid looking in certain closets. And slowly, subtly, you begin to question your own ability to manage life. It's not just about being tidy. It's about how clutter quietly chips away at your confidence, especially if you used to be the one who always had it together, the homemaker, the planner, the caretaker. Now you find yourself frustrated, apologizing for the mess, or feeling like things are slipping. And that hurts more than we often admit. But let me tell you something you need to hear today. Clutter is not a reflection of who you are. It is not a character flaw. It is simply the result of years, maybe decades, of putting everyone else first, of carrying responsibilities, and of not having time or space to deal with everything. You're not broken, you're overwhelmed. Here's how we begin to heal that. Create one small space of dignity. Just one. Maybe it's your bathroom sink area, maybe it's your bedside table, a single drawer in your kitchen. Clean it, organize it, make it beautiful. Put something there that makes you smile. A scented candle, a small flower, a photo of someone you love. Then every day, return to that space. Keep it clear. Let it be your little sanctuary, a message to yourself that says, I can take care of this. I can take care of me. This small action does something powerful. It begins to rewire the way you see yourself. You no longer feel defeated by the chaos. You see proof, physical, tangible proof, that you are still capable, that you can bring peace and order into your life, even in small pockets. And just like confidence, clutter spreads. So does self-worth. When you feel good about that one area, you'll start to feel better in others. Your posture changes, your voice steadies, you might even smile more. Because deep down, you're no longer weighed down by the belief that your mess defines you. It doesn't. You define you. And that definition is full of grace, wisdom, and strength. 6. When things steal your energy. Instead of giving it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt drained? Not because of the light or the temperature, but because the space itself just feels heavy. It might be a room filled with items you haven't used in years, or shelves cluttered with old decorations, broken appliances, or knickknacks that lost their meaning long ago. That's not just in your head. That's energy, stuck energy. Objects carry energy. When we surround ourselves with items that are no longer useful, that we no longer love, or that belong to a chapter of life we've already closed, our environment becomes stagnant. And when your home feels heavy, so do you. You feel tired, unmotivated, foggy. You walk into a room and feel like turning around and leaving. But there's something beautiful that happens when you begin to clear that energy. You create flow. You breathe again. The room breathes again. And suddenly you feel lighter, clearer, more alive. One of the most powerful tools I use and share is this. When you decide to let go of an object, don't just toss it aside. Hold it gently. Say, "Thank you for serving me." Whether it was a gift from someone you've lost touch with, a kitchen gadget you no longer use, or a blouse that no longer fits, bless it on its way out. That shift from discarding to releasing is important. It transforms the act of decluttering into a ritual of renewal. You're not just removing clutter, you're making space for life to flow again. You might find that after clearing just one room, you suddenly feel like going for a walk, calling a friend, pulling out that craft project you'd forgotten about. That's not a coincidence. That's energy coming back to you. Because here's the truth. Your home is a mirror of your inner world. When it feels free, so do you. And you deserve to feel vibrant, not sluggish. You deserve a space that reflects who you are now, not who you used to be. You don't need to clear your whole home overnight, but if you begin with intention, with love, and not shame, you'll notice a shift in your space, your body, your spirit. That's not just decluttering, that's healing. 7. The emotional weight of toxic memories. Some of the most painful clutter isn't what you see, it's what you feel when you see it. That necklace from a relationship that ended in heartbreak, the outfit you wore to a hospital visit, you'd rather forget, the box of photos that always brings tears instead of joy. These things live quietly in the corners of our homes, but they speak loudly to our hearts. We often keep items tied to painful memories without even realizing how much they affect us. We think, this was expensive, or someone gave me this, or simply, I might need it. But every time we see it, our mind goes back, sometimes to places we've worked so hard to move on from. It's like reopening a wound that was finally healing. You don't have to carry that pain anymore, and you don't have to prove anything by holding on to objects that bring you down. You are not your past. You are not the pain that shaped you. You are the woman who survived it. Here's something healing you can do. Take a slow, gentle walk through your space. When you find something that triggers a sadness, a regret, a wound, pause. Hold it. Acknowledge what it represents. Let yourself feel it, even for a moment. Then say, I release this. I thank it for its place in my journey, but I no longer need to carry this weight. And then let it go. You're allowed to choose peace over painful nostalgia. You're allowed to protect your heart and your energy. Releasing these items doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring yourself enough to move forward. Many women tell me that once they finally let go of these emotionally heavy things, they felt like they could breathe again, like the air in their home became lighter, and most of all, like their hearts had more room for joy. That's not just decluttering, that's emotional freedom, and you deserve every breath of it. 8. How clutter sabotages relationships. Let's talk about something we don't often admit. Sometimes we don't invite people over, not because we don't want to see them, but because we're ashamed of how our home looks. Maybe it's gotten cluttered. Maybe there's a room you keep the door closed on. Maybe the idea of hosting feels overwhelming now. You're not alone. So many women feel this way, and it hurts. Not just your social life, but your spirit. Because connection is vital to our well-being, especially as we get older. We need conversations, shared laughter, a warm hug over a cup of tea. But clutter builds a quiet wall between us and the people we love. It's not just about guests. Clutter also affects the people we live with, our spouse, our children, even our pets. When a home feels chaotic, it raises stress levels. It can lead to more arguments, more silence, more disconnection. And most of the time, we don't even realize the clutter is at the root of it. But the good news is, healing your space can also heal your relationships. And it doesn't take a full home makeover. All it takes is creating one space in your home where you feel proud to welcome someone in. Maybe it's your kitchen table, your front porch, a cozy reading chair by the window. Declutter that one area, add a candle, a plant, a soft light, make it feel like you again. Then call a friend. Invite someone over for a short visit. You don't have to explain or apologize, you just have to open the door. When you feel good about your space, you start reaching out more. You feel lighter, you smile easier, and suddenly you remember how good it feels to be seen and heard. Not through the lens of perfection, but of presence. Your relationships don't need a perfect home, they need you. And you, in your peaceful, welcoming space, are more than enough. 9. The secret to renewed energy. Have you ever spent a few hours cleaning out a closet or sorting a drawer and then suddenly felt alive again, like something shifted, not just in the room, but inside you? That's not just in your imagination. That's the power of energy coming back into your life. Every object you remove that no longer serves you frees up more than just physical space. It frees up mental and emotional space. It's like pulling weeds from a garden. Once the weeds are gone, your flowers have room to bloom. And so do you. I've seen it time and time again. A woman lets go of items tied to old seasons of life, and within weeks she's got a new sparkle in her eye. She's reconnecting with hobbies she once loved. She's going for walks again. She's sleeping better. Why? Because her space now supports her instead of draining her. There's a beautiful ritual I encourage you to try. As you declutter a space, take your time, be present, hold each item with care, and as you place something in a donation bag or the trash, say aloud what you're making space for. I release this to make room for health. I release this so joy can return. I release this and welcome peace. This simple act transforms cleaning into a form of intention. It becomes less about getting rid of things and more about calling in the life you truly want now. You are not the same woman you were 10, 20, or 30 years ago, and that is a beautiful thing. It's time your space reflects the woman you are today, wiser, freer, more focused on meaning than on maintenance. Energy doesn't come from doing more. It comes from clearing what no longer belongs. And the moment you let go of what's been weighing you down, you rise, you move forward, you bloom. 10. The complete transformation of your life. When you finally begin to let go of the things that no longer serve you, things you've held onto out of habit, guilt, fear, or even love, something incredible happens. And it's not just that your home looks better, it's that you start to feel better, lighter, clearer, braver. Because clutter doesn't just take up physical space, it takes up mental space, emotional space, spiritual space. And when you begin to reclaim that space, your life begins to transform in ways you might never have expected. You start waking up with more energy. Why? Because your brain isn't overloaded by chaos before your feet even touch the floor. You feel calmer, not because your problems have disappeared, but because your environment no longer shouts at you the moment you open your eyes. You find it easier to make decisions, big or small. Your mind has more clarity. You don't spend 10 minutes searching for your keys or feel guilty every time you walk past a messy room. You're no longer weighed down by piles of, "I'll get to it later." You're living more in the now. And then something really beautiful happens. You reconnect with yourself. That woman who loved to paint, to read, to laugh with friends over coffee, the one who once dreamed of taking a dance class or starting a small garden. She comes back, not because the clutter is gone, but because you made room for her again. And that's the deepest transformation of all. Not just your space, but your sense of self. You begin to trust yourself again, to believe in your ability to create beauty, peace, and purpose in your everyday life. But here's the key. This change can't just be a one-time clean-out. If you want to make it last, you need to shift how you see the things that come into your home. Start asking yourself one simple question before you bring anything new into your space. Does this truly improve my life in a meaningful way? Not, was it on sale? Or, could I use this someday? Ask your heart, is this item supporting the life I'm trying to live now? If the answer isn't a full-body yes, you leave it behind, because you've already done the work to reclaim your peace, and it's not worth losing again for another maybe. And slowly, you'll notice something amazing. You spend less, you clean less, you worry less, you live more. More walks, more laughter, more naps in the afternoon sun, more phone calls with old friends, more time doing what actually brings you peace. This is not just decluttering. This is liberation. This is the next chapter of your life, the one where your home reflects your heart, and your heart is finally light again. So take a deep breath, look around you, choose one small step today. A drawer, a shelf, a box, in the garage. Start there. Because the life waiting for you on the other side of clutter isn't just tidier. It's fuller, freer, yours. A warm invitation to take the first step. If you're still here, thank you for spending this time with me on Timeless Wisdom. I truly appreciate you for showing up, for allowing yourself to listen, and for being willing to explore the gentle idea of letting go. Maybe as you look around your home right now, it feels overwhelming. Please know you don't have to handle it all at once. Just start small. A single drawer, one shelf, or a little corner that's just for you. It's not about achieving perfection or having a picture-perfect home. It's about treating yourself with kindness and creating a space where you can truly breathe and feel at peace. You have spent so much of your life giving to others, caring for family, supporting friends, always being there when needed. Now it's your turn to give yourself a gift, not more things, but more room to rest, more lightness, and a home that brings you comfort each morning. So I'd love to hear from you. What's the first little space you're going to clear today? Share it in the comments below so we can support and cheer for each other. Remember, you're part of a caring community here at Timeless Wisdom, and together we're all learning and growing side by side. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any new content. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.